Good evening, one all. Good evening, one and all, and welcome once again to Spec Esports Formula 1 2019. This is, of course, Disturboed with you once again from raceonoz.com, and I am joined by my partner in crime this time, Avenger Ben. How are we tonight, Ben?
Yeah, not too bad. How are we all tonight?
I think we're doing pretty good, and we're here for the final race of the season, of course. That is Abu Dhabi. So this is going to be the final race, of course. See what happens here with the 21 rounds in. Can't believe it's been 21 races, and we're now at the final round. So underway with qualifying, and we'll see how the grid pans out. Now just a quick look at the grid entrance for tonight. We've got Rock, Andre, Aaron, LJB, Sideshow back, Squilly and Curves of course. 40 Toddster Zeppi, new name, or Kasushi, we saw that name just recently. Banana Josh, Pete Crichton and Crossy make up the grid for tonight. Again, no amazing hour, but that doesn't, as we mentioned last week, he wasn't here last week as well, but that doesn't change his championship position because he's already sealed that well and truly. So this is about just consolidating the final grid championship positions and seeing where everyone ends up after the wash is done, so to speak. So we'll be getting our first set of flying laps in this qualifying session. So we'll get you guys and follow around. So what have you thought of the season so far, Ben?
It's been a pretty cracker season, I reckon. Been some really tough races for some drivers, but there's been really exciting races as well. So it's going to be interesting to see the final race of the season. We'll see what these drivers can give. And yeah, it's pretty sad to see the season come to an end. It's like I've said, it's been a pretty cracker season. So we'll really excited to get this last qualifying and race session underway. And yeah, so as we are following the Rock on his flying lap on the hard tyres. So yeah, that's pretty interesting strategy to start off the qualifying session. So have to wait and see what kind of time he can put in on the hard tyres.
So just going back to that championship battles, they're just having a look and seeing that actually we do have at least one position in that table that will be decided tonight, and that is between Toddy and 40, who are currently tied for third position in the championship, so on equal points. So whoever finishes it ahead of the other will finish ahead. We'll have a closer look at the points table hopefully through the session, and give you guys an idea of any other possible changes. But yeah, let's see how this all turns out. I think last week, what happened last week? Like we had a interesting bit of strategy being played with one driver in particular, Pete Crichton, doing the alternate strategy to basically everyone else, and that certainly helped his position out by the end of the race, taking the win. And of course Cleves also finishing on the podium to shore up his position in the championship as well. So let's get on with this qualifying session. And
So as the times are coming thick and fast, we have Aaron on the top with a 35 flat, Spilly on a 35 flat, and 40 on a 35-1. Those are your top three at the moment in qualifying. I'm guessing those times have been put on the softs. So some pretty fast lap times at the moment, but as the session starts to wear down and the track starts to get more grippy, times will start to get faster. You'll be following your current provisional pole position person, Aaron, who
Just gone up the track. He's had to report the corner there. He was really too hot and he couldn't pull up. So that's that lap down there for him. So let's see who else is out on track. Rock's still circulating on the hard tyres, so you might be looking for a bit of a strategy gamble here. Seems like there is a fair way off the pace, which you would think. Well, let's go on board now with Todster, of course, fighting for that third position in the championship. Todster is one of our race winners this season, which I believe was, if I'm not mistaken, was it Austria, I think, all the way back then. It was a long time ago. Canada was just been corrected there. Canada was in fact in the race we won. And that was a bit of a shock result, that one. So he did very, very well in that result. Let's see what he can come up with now. He's sitting provisionally 6th position, and he's found a 10th already in the first sector. This is where it starts to get a little bit technical. We do have that big long straight here, right in the middle of the sector before the final 50 sector. This is maximum deployment now to maximise the speed down the straight. It's hard on the brakes, don't lock up a wheel too much, just like that. But he's made the apexes there on the chicane, he's doing alright. DRS again. Gets to the inside. The track sort of bends around. Nicely done there. Throw all those gains away, or lock up there, or a little bit too wide, and you'll lose a 10th or two. Separate, doing okay. And you can keep it all on track. Final 2 turns will be improved. Good exit. Up in the 4th fastest. So he's 1/10 off the pace. Look how tight those times are. The top 5 guys. Only basically 1.5 tenths between them. This could be a cracker.
Yes, indeed, it shall be a cracker. As Pev's just put in the fastest time.
I was just trying to move up to him, and he's gone and set the fastest time provisionally so far. So, what was I saying about being a cracker?
Indeed. So, as the track starts to get rubbered in, these times will start to get quicker and quicker and quicker. So this will be indeed, as you said, just over a cracker of a race and qualifying session, as it is turning out to be. So Aaron will be looking to hopefully take that pole position, as Crossy now has just put on the fastest lap and has taken provisional pole of a 34.8. So this is definitely turning out to be one cracker of a qualifying session. And 40's just topped his teammate of a 34.8 as well.
Well, there's only 2 100ths of a second between them. That's amazing. The times are absolutely so, well, I don't know what to say. They're massively close. Is that even an expression? So close, the times. It's absolutely incredible. And at a circuit like this, it's not like it's an easy circuit. There's a lot of technical stuff to this circuit. So for the guys to be this close is a credit to the guys out on track. So we've got our top 8 within, within 4/10 of each other right now.
I think this will possibly be the closest qualifying session we've had all year. So Aaron is now 21 thousandths of a second up on his previous time, which was a 35 flat, so he'll be looking to hopefully gain maybe 2 or 3, maybe 1 position, sorry, I can't English tonight. So at the moment he's on a pretty decent lap. Let's see what his sector 3 time will be. He's coming now down to the final corner, really straddles that curve. What can Aaron do? And he stays P4 but improves his time.
Only a small improvement, so he goes no further up the grid. And we've got Zeppi on an outlap. They've got Banana Josh out there circulating. Looks like he's setting his another time. He's gone back out on the soft tyres. And let's see where he can place his Toro Rosso. I do apologise if the stream looks a bit glitchy. We may be having some technical issues somewhere along the line. Banana Josh up to 6th spot now.
Yeah, so what a time from Banana Josh to go from it was 11 or 12 up to P6.
Well, let's look out for this guy. Pete Crichton, he's left his run till late, but we know what he's like. He's just as good as Amazing Hour in the qualifying sessions. Oh, geez, that pink almost got in the way there.
Racing Point just goes flying off track there, but our eyes are currently on Pete Crichton.
So of course no previous lap set, but he's getting a great tow there down the straight. Oh, wow, that was the last minute pull off, that was.
And this will possibly be the perfect time to set a lap time in, as the track is rubbing in quite nicely. I can see by the times. So let's see, is he up?
We don't know if he's up because he hasn't set a lap yet, so it's a bit hard to work out. We'll see where he can finish up at the end of this lap. So far he's looking pretty on the edge.
As you were saying, Sturbo, we know how good this guy is. He can really muster that F1 car around tracks just as well as Amazing Hour can.
Oh, he gets a bit squirrely coming off the board, but he does it. And doesn't he do it? A 34.3, a full half a second faster than position 2. What a lap from Pete Crichton.
And so, as you can see now, what a driver this guy is. He's an absolutely amazing driver. So, can anyone mount a challenge to Pete Crichton? Spilling 65 1,000ths of a second up on his previous time. So we're looking to jump ahead of Aaron.
Only a couple minutes of the session remaining. We look to be coming out for a final run. Let's see what Spilly can get. Currently 6th fastest. Can anyone get closer to Pete Crichton's amazing lap time there? And Pete just gets out of the way.
Spilly has found a heap of time in Sector 2. He's now 4 tenths up on his previous times.
Not a bad effort there from Spilly. He could find a lot more time here in Sector 3. He could end up jumping a few spots here. So you can see all the guys ahead of him are already on their outlaps. They need to get around the circuit to the flag to get their final lap in. Because at this rate, Spilly could be jumping up a few spots. Here we go.
With his challenge for pole position.
Third fastest with 34.8.
Still roughly half a second off Pete Crichton. And Pete Crichton has has retired from the session, so he thinks
he's happy with his lap. He wouldn't have been able to get around to the pits and back out in time to do another run. But so one run Pete, one run Pete, we shall call him tonight. And so far that's netted him provisional pole. So let's see, we've got a few runners left, including this man, Plevs,
who's currently sitting second in the championship.
Here we go, final lap for Plevs. It's all or nothing.
Leave nothing on the table here.
He's gone wide there out of one. That may have cost him. We'll see where he ends up. Yeah, he's a tenth slower than his previous best. He needs to find some more. Toddster, meanwhile, jumps into second fastest.
34.5, so
time is being found, that's for sure.
Let's see what Plevs can do now.
So Toddster ahead of his championship rival there, 40 in the current grid standings. Plevs a small lock-up. Compromises his entry and exit there out of the chicane. This may end up costing him more time. What's his split? He's found a little bit, but not enough. It's all about this final sector now. No mistakes. Really technical section here, braking while turning, a little lock up as most people do. So Plevs needs to find 2/10 to jump up to even the second row. Can he do it in one sector? He goes third fastest, and he does find an absolute goblin time there in the third sector. And he goes third fastest.
What a job from Pez right at the death of the session.
Aaron stays 8th fastest. Now earlier provisional pit pole sitter. Chart 8th. So Pete Crichton and Toddster make up your front row. Plevs and 40 on the second row. And Spilly, Crossy, Zeppy, Aaron and Banana Josh. And then LJB completes the top 10. So well done. That's the final qualifying session of the year, done and dusted. Now it's all down to the race. What a lap there by one run Pete. Absolutely smashed everybody by a full half a second. They did make up a little bit of time on him, but it was just too much in the end. Still a full 2.5 tenths gap between first and second. Again, looking at the championship rivals, Toddster and 40. Toddster ahead of 40 there. So they'll be looking to duke it out and try and finish ahead of each other. Alrighty, so now it's time for racing. Let's get this party started, as they say. And cheers go out to the guys. Thank you for the recognition on the commentary. Appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun. From absolutely having no experience whatsoever to doing a full F1 season, well, it's been quite interesting, put it that way. May not have had the technical flair as some of your other streamers, but yeah, we've enjoyed doing it. Oh, we've lost Banana Josh out of the session for some reason there. We start our formation lap, and Pete with his customary big burnout off the line. I was just mentioning it's taken me 21 rounds to realise, but I think I know I've mentioned a few times here that I sort of hark from raceonoz.com, and I believe we do have a Race on Oz driver in this group here, Banana Josh. It's too much of a unique name to be a coincidence. Banana Josh, I believe, races in the GT Sport competition as he rejoins over at Race on Oz, and I think the reason I haven't noticed that earlier is because I race in the P-Cars 2 division, so competition, so I don't see him. But anyway, as I believe Banana Josh also just literally competed a few nights ago in our memorial race for one of our Race on Oz members who tragically passed away a few years ago, quite suddenly, and he did quite well in that particular event. Anyway, back to the Formula 1. We are looking at our Tier 1 drivers in the Pacific Series.
Yes, we are. So, I'm sitting here with a huge smile on my face. This is going to be one hell of a race. Yeah, qualifying was a hell of a session, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what this race brings. So, as you were saying, there's a lot of technical parts of this circuit, well, high speed parts of this circuit as well. So this will favour the most skilled drivers out there. So all these drivers. So, as they are coming to the final corner to line up on their grid spots, who's going to take the win? The last race of the season. As much temperature, heat into those brakes and tyres as possible. Who is going to take it? As we go.
Here we go. Lights are coming on.
5 red lights.
And we're racing at Abu Dhabi for the final race of the season. And Totster with a fantastic start goes straight down the inside of the turn 1. Pete around the outside. Plev's getting around, keeping 40 at bay. Zeppi going wide there, and there's a pink car spilling off. That was Spilly, who's now dead last here. Meanwhile, back at the front of the pack, we've got Aaron making up a few spots here. He's up in the turn position 5. We've got some ghosting going on. Zeppi goes up the inside and around the corner. So, Totster leads down the main straight.
Straight. A straight.
Any straight will do.
Peacoin is under attack from Pez at the moment, but a shocking start. Looks like Spilly was taken out the first corner, so we'll have to wait and see what happened there. But yeah, what a start from Totster. Just absolutely munched Peacoin off the line. So, what a start to the Grand Prix. 40 is all over the back of Plevs.
So almost complete lap number 1. Totster still leads, but he's got Pete crying all over him right now. 11:40, not too far behind. Getting a little bit taily out of the last turn there, which is letting 40 get up alongside Plevs. And he goes down the inside around turn 1. Plevs heads around the outside. He's not giving this one away, but 40 has the inside line and takes the spot.
Yeah, what a move from 40. Unfortunate for Plevs that he had a bit of a taily end at the back. As unfortunately we have lost Aaron in this race, so it could be due to mechanical issues. He could have hit the wall somewhere. Yeah, unfortunate to lose Aaron so early in the Grand Prix.
I did see him ghosting through a few cars there, so it could have been a bit of an issue for him network-wise. Looks like they've already also lost Banana Josh. I think they're having Banana Josh not being able to start the race also due to technical issues, which is a big shame. But meanwhile, these guys are still pushing on. We've got LJB making his way up past Zeppi, but Zeppi wants to go back at him. Trying to compromise his line in and out of the chicane, but at least Kasuchi up into the spot. He holds him off. Already now locking his sights onto the back of Pete Crichton, and he'll have DRS activated next time around.
No, Plebs does definitely not want to lose sight of 40, as he might be able to get a toe off the 4 cars or 3 cars in front of him. And his race controllers now just enabled DRS, so this will be helping 40, Pete Crichton and possibly Plebs.
I've just noticed in the background there, Plebs seems to be struggling with rear traction on the edge of the corners. He's been very, very taily. So whether he's having trouble switching these tyres on, I'm not sure. But just a few corners there, you notice that the back steps out quite drastically, and it costs him a lot of drive off the corner, and he will be at a lot of risk of losing DRS. Meanwhile, 40 now down the inside on what's his name, Crichton. Crichton stays alongside, doesn't give up, and stays ahead. Well done to Pete Crichton.
But with both of these guys having DRS, this will be a world of a battle. Who takes it into the corner? 40 around the outside, Pete Crichton shuts the door in his face. Pete Crichton again having issues getting the power down on the exit of corners. So maybe his tyres are hurting, maybe his tyres are overheating, maybe they're just too cold. But 40 is all over the back of Crichton. But this will be helping Plebs catch up to the back of 40.
40, of course, not wanting to let Todster get away because he is the guy he needs to beat. So he's hanging all over the back of here of Pete Crichton. He wants Pete to drag him along with him. And not let Todster get away. So he's just got to be a little bit careful in that he's battling too much with Pete, may let Todster escape, so he's got to be pick the right time and make a think of strategy.
Also got to keep in mind of penalties, as we have seen throughout the season, penalties playing a major part in the outcome of races, so definitely don't want to be getting penalties earlier. But as we see now, 40 DRS, toes Crichton. Does 40 make the lunge on the inside? No, he doesn't. Picking his time, seeing where Pete Crichton is weak. That's what you do. So again, 40 with DRS, losing all the battery possible down this back straight thingy. Crichton is also on the rear diffuser of Todster. So Crichton trying to battle with Todster is definitely not helping him get away from 40, but does help 40 try and overtake Pete Crichton.
Crichton getting all sorts of crossed up there.
You have to kind of jam on the brakes with Todster locked up. As we start, 40 with a massive tank slapper. Just managing to catch it though. So fantastic catch from 40, but that's definitely not going to help with his mission of trying to get past Crichton.
And again, he's got to be mindful. Battling Pete will slow him down and maybe let Todster escape. The gap is only half a second, but it won't take much to make that extend.
Also does bring Plebs into the battle as well. So don't count out Plebs as a dark horse to possibly scoop up the remains of this battle with 40 and Pete Crichton. 40 looking for a lunge, but thinks of it. Here we go. Battle resumes again, but Pete Crichton's looking to go around the outside, thinks of it. Trying to maybe scare 40.
I think he was sort of half thinking of a move on Todster there actually, but it sort of killed any chance that 40 might have had of making a move as well. So Pete attacking and defending at the same time.
Something you don't see very often in the real life races either.
Oh, and Pete Crichton's went very, very wide there.
But he still remains in second position though.
That was a fantastic camera angle, thanks James. And Pete's actually into the pits, is he?
Yes, so
dived straight into the pits there, no two ways about it.
And we've now just lost LJB as well.
Well, it looks like we lost another driver, which is a real shame. Especially when we only had 14 to start with. So we lost 3, but anyway, so Pete into the pits. Lap 6, so we've got, what's that, 23 laps remaining.
So maybe Pete Crichton's tyres were starting to overheat.
He did seem to be having a bit of grip troubles. It looked like he was going a bit wide, a bit deep in some corners, and a bit of traction issues off the line. So
Todster and 40 and Plebs will be looking to stay out as long as possible and possibly try the overcut on Crichton. But as you saw last week, Crichton on the alternative strategy. And he managed to win the race, and he's come back out on softs.
Oh, Pete going for the two-stop strategy then. Of course, starting the race on softs and coming back out on softs means he will have to stop again for another set. So maybe he's looking for the soft medium, which is interesting. We haven't seen too many two-stop strategies successfully used this season yet, except for obviously the wet races, but they don't really count in that regard. So look at Ford, looks like Todster's dived into the pits, and now Todster into the pits. 40 gains the lead. I was just saying, look how close 40 had gotten up to Todster. He closed the gap right up in that previous lap. So let's see where Todster comes out, whether he's still ahead of Pete Crichton.
Yes, indeed. So it's quite interesting to see that Pete Crichton is on the two-stop. Todster is also on the two-stop as well. Just looking at the screen here, Todster has come back out on softs as well. So maybe that he's seen Pete Crichton come in early. Maybe he's reacted to that as well. So now we've just lost Todster. So has he hit the wall or something?
Looks like Zeppi has just been given a penalty for a collision with Todster, and Todster has left the session. So this is a bit of a turn up for the books. I don't know exactly what's happened there, whether that was a crash or what, I'm not sure. But yeah, well, that's a big turn up. So Todster gone from the race, which throws the door open for 40 here. And Plebs takes a very interesting line across the grass there. I don't know if that's going to help his cause any.
But yeah, no, but this does help 40 massively in the championship, as he was pretty close, or he was ahead of Todster. I can't exactly remember. Equal on points. So either way, Todster will seal his position in the championship, and Plebs is in.
Here we go. So it looks like everyone's diving into the pits now. We've got Plebs in for his first stop.
So it will be interesting to see what tyres he put on. It looks like to be the mediums. Yeah.
So he goes for the medium, so a bit of an alternate strategy here. And he's held up in the pits there for Techno. Just a bit of lag. He'll go down. Pete Crichton, meanwhile, setting fastest laps. And Plebs opting to do a medium stint now.
So we'll be looking to hopefully go to the end of the race on this set. It looks like one of the Williams drivers will win as well.
But there is confirmation. Pete Wright and Almasos is back under third position. And Rock out there on medium tyre started the race, I think, possibly, I'm not sure. And 40 out there in the lead, yet to pit, of course. I think you'll see him ending to the clock. You won't want to cost himself too much time. You can see the time difference there between Pete Crichton and Plevs is several seconds, and that's just over the course of 2 laps. So those fresh tyres definitely have a benefit, unless 40 is looking to go alternate strategy and go one stop, in which case he'll probably want to extend his stint out a little bit longer.
Yes, indeed. So, as you were saying, Disturber, it's going to be interesting to see what lap and what tyres he put on. As you saw, Plebs comes in a lap earlier. So, he's still out. So, interesting strategy being played out by 40. So, he will be looking to hopefully go for the one stop and drag these tyres out. But you don't want to drag them out too long and start losing time, start having mistakes here and there, because of Pete Crichton. Oh, he's off the track as well. So massive off by 40. This is what we're talking about by the tyre life. Are they starting to fall away?
So you could be starting to hit that cliff now, where tyre life is not there anymore, and it's starting to affect his lap times and track minutes and all that sort of thing. So, of course, being out there on his own, he doesn't have the benefit of latching onto the back of anybody and getting DRS, whereas a couple of guys behind him do. Plevs now up in the 5th spot on those medium tyres. Spilly in 4th, also yet to pit. We did see Spilly there at the start of the race basically end up dead last after losing it in turn 1. He's now all the way up to the 4th, of course yet to pit, but slowly making his way forward. Plebs now is making a move there on, trying to make a move there on Spilly, who has gone off track. He has gone off track and just lets him through. He just disappeared there for a minute. I didn't know what happened to him. But he's now also under attack from the other Renault Sideshow. So I think you might find Spilly in any tip. Yes, and Spilly is in, and 40 is as well. So 40 out on the mediums.
Yes, indeed. So he couldn't make them tyres last any longer. So what happens now? Crichton still has to make another stop.
Well, Pete Crichton being setting fastest laps because on those soft tyres, and we'll see what the gaps are like. Plevs is currently 6 seconds behind Pete Crichton, and just plugging away on these medium tyres. Meanwhile, Pete Crichton moves back into the lead of the race, getting past the Rock on his mediums, who has also yet to pit, I think. Yet to pit. As his Sideshow yet to pit. And here come the time penalties.
As we all well know, time penalties do play a massive part in the ending of the race, as well as positions. So, what do the time penalties do at the end of this race? We'll have to wait and find out. Oh, and the Rock has a massive slide out of the last corner. Definitely won't be helping his tyre life. But Pete Crichton now is starting to storm away. So only one second ahead of the Rock.
Yeah, interestingly, Plevs definitely seems to be actually closing the gap here. Is now less than 6 seconds behind Pete Crichton. So it's going to be very interesting to see. Are the soft tyres of only 5 laps old on Pete Crichton? Have they gone already? Is he pushing these guys too hard? It's hard to say. He's looking to try and build a gap, but it looks like Plebs is actually closing the gap.
Yes. So we do know how fast these soft tyres are, but at a track like Abu Dhabi, they will eat your tyres for breakfast and lunch and dinner, and maybe dessert. But yeah, so are these soft tyres starting to fall away for Pete Crichton? And if they are, what does he do? What tyres does he put on for the ending stint of the race?
What will be interesting to see is if Plebs and the likes of Plebs and 40 think they can make the... Oh, we've lost another driver. Sorry to interrupt myself. Looks like we've lost Crossy now as well. So drivers dropping off like flies here, which is a big shame. Anyway, back to what I was saying. We're interested to see whether Plevs and 40 think they can make these medium tyres last at the end of the race, or whether they're looking at doing the second stop and putting on another set of softs for the end of the race and really storming through at the end, which we have seen a couple of times, once before from this guy, in fact, last week, in fact. So let's see where that will turn out.
Yeah, so it is quite interesting to say that 40 has 2-lap fresher tyres than Plebs. And the Rock yet still... Oh, I was about to say the Rock is yet to still make a stop as Plebs just passes him down the back straight. Or A straight. And the Rocky is getting all crossy out of that corner.
So Plev's definitely closing in now. It's under 5 seconds a gap, so he's closed in another second. He's absolutely medium tyres working a treat for him. Normally we've seen Plev struggle a bit on the mediums, but this time around it really seems to be working a treat for him. So looks like they've nailed the setup on this one. Pete Crichton still your race leader, but we've got Plebs closing in, and of course Pete Crichton will have to make another stop. And there you go, Plebs can see him down the back, down the end of the main straight, the pit straight there. He can see his target, 4.1 seconds ahead.
We have seen throughout the season Plev struggle a bit, as you were saying, on these medium tyres, but it looks like that this track does suit him and his car and the setup. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens for the next 16 or so laps. So he's just closed in another second as well. So Plevs these medium tyres are definitely working. So he doesn't want to push them too hard though. He starts to lose all that tyre life towards the end of the race, because with 40 on 2 laps fresher tyres, he will be one to watch. So Plevs and 40 have played themselves quite nicely into this race, with Pete Crichton yet to make a stop, or his second stop. He started on soft, pitted this off on the 6th lap, I think. So as the gap starts to kind of open up a bit, as the field starts to spread out. Wait and see, it's just waiting game now. And we can start to see the blob back of Pete Crichton.
Pleb's definitely able to close up a lot of time on the corners. So Crichton's definitely struggling with his tyres now. They're about as old, so they're older than his first set that he used. So they've definitely been feeling the stretch now. And we're only halfway through this race. At the end of this lap, we're halfway through this race. I think this is going to be a bit of a thrilling finish. How long does Pete Crichton stay out? When does he go in for those new boots? And we are under virtual safety car. Who will be lost there? Kasuchi by the looks of it. So Kasuchi, virtual safety car. Still on the virtual safety car. Because it's neutralised, it's supposed to neutralise everything, but Pleb's now up 2.6 seconds behind. Without paying attention, we'll wait to see when the racing is restarted. We now start to see. Also, Pete Crichton in the pit. He's pulled into the pits and he's doing it under virtual safety cars. This is very interesting. He's taking a big strategy call here. This could actually work very well in his favour. Of course, Pleb's not able to circulate at full race speed until right now. So, wow, so if Pleb's needs to take another pit stop, he'll have to do that under full race speed and lose a lot of track position, I think, because Pete Crichton able to still take that stop with the virtual safety car, meaning Plebs could not break a big gap, having to go a bit slower. So we'll have to wait and see how that ends up. Well, Pete's only now in third position and he's out on the medium tyres. And he's only 17 seconds behind Plebs. So this is a bit of a turn up actually. I thought Pete Crichton might have been a bit of toast. This could get quite a bit more toasty than we realised.
Yes indeed, so a fantastic strategy call by the Mercedes team and by Pete Crichton's engineer, race engineer. So this will work very, very well in Pete Crichton's favour. As you were saying, Mr. Obed, if Pez does need to make another pit stop, he will do it under full racing speed. He seems to only be slightly opening that gap up to from 40. So it jumps in and out of the 4 second range.
So Pete Crichton now 13.3 seconds off the lead. He's on 8 lap younger tyres than what Plebs is on, so you'd think he's making up some time, and you can definitely see that he is. So this may be causing Plebs a bit of a rethink in terms of his strategy. He really wanted to try and pick up the pace a little and minimise that time loss, because he's got to try and make all that up that he lost. It's a weird system when you can lose time by not even going into the pits. That's effectively what's happened to Plebs.
Only 40 seems to be ever so slightly closing that gap to Plebs. Pete Crichton, as you were saying, on 8 lap younger tyres. He's closing that gap to 40M Plebs. So this will get quite exciting towards the back end of this race.
I think you might find going by the seconds that are losing each lap, there's too many laps left to try and hang out to the end. But I think sometime in the next 3 laps. We may see Plebs in for another soft tyre stint to try and get all back through the field. There's not that many cars he'll need to pass. He'll probably come back out in he'll come back out in 3rd position. So he'll still be on the podium spot. But he needs that fresh set of boots for him to try and close back up and get back past, which, going by the speed of the other guys, is very, very possible. You can see the Rock up in the 4th spot now on fresh soft tyres, but I think those may be just a little bit too early for the softs. He may struggle towards the end of the stint now. You can see back there 40 and Pete Crichton off into the distance.
It'll be interesting to see what 40 does as well, if he follows what Plebs does. But then again, he's on 2 lap younger tyres, which doesn't mean a lot, but we'll have to wait and see. Pete Crichton now is only 9 seconds away from 40. So he is playing himself quite nicely back into this race. So I should correct myself, he's only 8 seconds away from Plebs. So that's my bad. Yeah, he's only 8 seconds away from Plebs. There's roughly 10 laps to go, 11 laps to go in this Grand Prix. And 40's just been given another 3-second time penalty, so... But he seems to be gaining and gaining and gaining every corner, every lap. There's only 1.5 seconds between them now, between 40 and Plebs. But does 40 need to make another stop? We're thinking that Plebs will. But what about 40? What's his tyre? What is his tyres like? And can he make him last for another 11 laps?
So I can guarantee you right now that running through these two guys' minds with all the different permutations of what they need to do to get the best result, and whether that means continuing on, pushing the tyres to the end, or whether it means stopping another time and chucking another set of tyres on it for the last part of the race, and where they'll come out at the end of the pit stop, all that sort of stuff. It's all running through their mind and it's playing on them, and trying to make that decision. And looks like Plebs has pulled the trigger and he's into the pits.
We did say within the next 2 or 3 laps that he would be in. So what tyres does he put on?
Medium tyres it is. He's liked the pace that he had on those medium tyres to start with, and he's gone for another set, which sort of makes a lot of sense. So, does 40 react? Here comes Plebs, and he's in 3rd position still, or comes out in 3rd position, which is what we predicted. 20 seconds behind the leader, 19 seconds behind the leader, which happens to be 40 right now, and 6 seconds behind him is Pete Crichton. Only a 5 lap difference in tyre age between these two, so not quite as drastic. We'll have to keep an eye on the lap times from Plebs. He's got 19 seconds to make up. Can he do that in the 9 laps or so we have remaining? 10 laps even. Another time penalty. Looks like everybody's been given a time penalty at some point. 40 continues on now, and Plevs has begun his charge. He's knocked that down already to 18.5 second gap.
Yes, indeed. So, Crichton's only 5.7 seconds away, with a 5-lap tyre difference in Crichton's favour. We know how good he is on fresh tyres. We saw it last week. What happens towards the back end of this race with only 8 laps to go? This is going to be an exciting 8 laps. Does 40 need to pit again? That's the question in everyone's mind at the moment. Does he need to pit again? So 40 seems to be doing a pretty good job on them medium tyres. He's keeping the gap around 5 seconds. It's not a bad job from 40. So there's about 4.9 to 5 seconds. It's roughly around the gap that it stays at. Plevs is taking another 2 seconds out of that time. There's only 16.6 seconds, 16.5 seconds now behind 40. So Plevs is definitely on the charge.
So Plevs currently lapping around 1.1 seconds a lap faster than Pete Crichton ahead of him. Does he have enough laps to get back in front?
So Plevs is definitely on the charge to hopefully grab his first race win. And what a way to do it on the last race of the season. The field is definitely spread out from 4th to 9th. We've lost just over half the field. So that gap from Pete Crichton to 40's diminished ever so slightly. It's now about 4.1 seconds. So Pete Crichton is definitely on the charge to grab that, to grab first from 40 and deny him a win. Now down to 3.7 seconds.
So of course 40 on the oldest tyres of the bunch, and I dare say he'll be looking to try and push these to the end. I think his window may have just closed if he was going to go for another set of tyres. And I dare say the age now is starting to show as Pete Crichton slowly makes his way forward and closes that gap. Plevs continues on his charge, 14.5 seconds. I don't think he's going to have enough laps to actually get back up towards the front. He started off pretty well. It seems to have dropped his pace off ever so slightly. See what his split time is like, and he's a few tenths slower than his PB, so only making up a few tenths there on the leader. Pete Crichton meanwhile goes very wide, almost off into the boonies there, and just scrapes past the fence. You can see 40 just ahead of him. who seems to be having to deal with a bit of lap traffic as well.
So with 5 laps remaining in this race, does Pete Crichton have enough in his tyres to get 40? Seems to be diminishing that gap ever so slightly, but with him taking time out of the gap, it seems to be staying around the 3-second mark. Does he have enough in his tyres, and does he have enough laps? We're thinking that Pez may have run out of laps to grab Pete Crichton and 40, but has 40's tyres started to go downhill? Has he started to lose the grip? Pete Crichton now can just start to see the back of that Renault. So not Renault, McLaren.
Definitely committed himself to the one stop now. Can he hold off Pete Crichton? I think the tyre life, the tyre grip should be equalising fairly. The point of equalisation we've seen, but maybe now the wear factor will come into it, as he's only 2 seconds off the lead now, and we still have about 4 laps remaining. 4.5 laps remaining, so and Flev's, he's lost a lot of pace and he's still catching, but just not at the rate that he needs to. So I was wondering whether he had to cut back because of fuel or something like that. Crichton, that is the question, and that is what we're going to find out. All lap traffic ahead there for 40. It looks like the lap traffic is on fresh soft rubber, so they should hopefully pull away and not get themselves involved. Nice little toe there to 40. Pete Crichton still closing the gap, 1.48 seconds. Four laps remaining, of course, of the final Grand Prix of the season here at Abu Dhabi of the Pacific Series from Spec Esports. Thank you everybody for joining us for this fantastic race we have on our hands right now, and we are waiting to see, can Pete Crichton jump 40 for the win? Laps are winding down, and Pete now within that magic second. We'll be looking for that DRS assistance, of course. 3 laps remaining, people.
if 40 miraculously holds off Crichton, then this will be his first race win of the season. And what a way to do it on the last race of the season as well. So this will be a pretty special moment for him if he manages to do it on the last race of the season. But with Pete Crichton on 5-lap pressure tyres and only 6/10 away with 3 laps remaining, what will happen?
40, of course, at the disadvantage of having no one there in front of him to tow him or give him DRS. So it's all about him to manage his battery and maximising its deployment during those moments where he needs to defend.
Yeah, keeping in mind that both these drivers also do have time penalties, so you can't also discount Plevs. Depending on how many time penalties these guys have, Plevs may take the win unexpectedly.
That is a very true fact, and I don't think I recall seeing Plev's name pop up for a time penalty yet, but I think Pete and 40 have both received at least one each, so that may yet be a factor. Plev's managing to get within 9 seconds now of these two. On 40 just goes a little bit deeper there. He's letting Pete jump up there a little bit closer. Wants to try and keep him about 6/10 behind. Oh, and Pete gets all crossed up on the exit. Gave 40 a little bit of breathing room, but not much. So 40 needs to be about 6/10 ahead leading up into... Oh, and he goes super wide there. Jumps the curbs and let Pete Crichton right up onto him. And Pete Crichton dives down the inside. We go round side by side they go, but 40 stays ahead. But Pete, of course, will have the DRS.
And this is the penultimate lap of the race.
Side by side they go. Who breaks last?
Looks like Pete Crichton's done it.
He gets through, so 40 will be kicking himself over that mistake, which let Pete Crichton all the way up onto him.
But with these two battling, this is putting the Plevs ever so closer to these guys, and he's only 6 or so seconds away.
7 seconds behind, so Plevs has got an opportunity to close a bit further up to take advantage of any time penalties. Meanwhile, these two are battling it out, but Pete Crichton has skipped away a little bit so far and is almost a second ahead of 40. They're coming up for the last lap of the race now. Oh, poor 40 would be kicking himself. He just totally missed that sequence of corners and went completely off track. And that let Crichton through. And looks like Plevs has had an issue. He's dropped back a few seconds. So he's dropped back about 4 or 5 seconds there. So he's obviously had a bit of an excursion as well. Final lap of the race. Can 40 do anything? He's gone completely and utterly wide there out of the turn. I think he just took massive buckets of loads of wheel spin and just was struggling to control the car. Almost couldn't get it pointed in a straight line.
This will be the one turn that 40 has unless he makes a big boy dive bomb.
I think he's a little bit too far back, unfortunately. Just that small mistake out of the hairpin.
He's definitely up in the clouds. He's lost all that time.
Still only 11 seconds behind. So where do our time penalties come into effect? But here we go. Who crosses the line first? It's going to be Pete Crichton who finishes the line. Your provisional winner of race 21, Pete Crichton, followed by 40. They stay in that position. Plevs is coming up behind. Does he jump them at all? He crosses the line, and no, he stays third. So after all that, time penalties don't play too much of a factor, and Pete Crichton is your confirmed winner. So well done to Pete and 40 on the second position, and Plevs plays third place once again. After that, bit of bad luck with the virtual safety car allowing Pete Crichton obviously to pit and gain quite a bit of track position, whilst Plevs did a second stop under full race conditions. So, whoo, there we go. What a race that was. That was not bad.
Yes, indeed. And as you were saying, unfortunate turn of events for Plevs in that virtual safety car. So it would have been nice to see him get a win, but unfortunately that is just the way that motorsports works.
It would have been interesting to see that result, but with 40 doing the one stop, where the Plevs could have done the same had Pete Crichton not been able to pit under virtual safety car. But anyway, that is your Race Spec Esports Pacific Series Tier 1 Championship all done for 2019.
Yes, it is, and what a season it has been.
We've seen some fantastic racing, some absolute domination of a large number of rounds there by F1 Amazing Hour, of course not with us tonight, but absolutely speechless the way that guy controlled his season and just dominated the field. And special mention to all our other race winners such as Pete Crichton, Darren 11, Toddster, and a few others as well who also got a race win in there, but I can't remember who exactly. Yeah, so well done to everybody, and that, as they say, is that. So here you can see the time penalties at play. So 40 actually had one up on Pete Crichton. There's no penalties. But I'd like to say a great big thank you to my partner in crime, Avenger Ben. Thank you so much for, well, first of all, dragging me into this.
Thanks for doing it with me. It's been a cracking season, and thanks for you guys for watching. We couldn't do this without any of you guys and our players for setting up the room. So thanks to the drivers and thanks to the fans.
So that's it. This is Disturbo from RaceOnOz.com. And hey, if on your F1 off season, if you want to come and join, have a look at RaceOnOz.com. If you want to see some fantastic racing, such as in GT Sport, we've got GT Sport competitions. We've got Project Cars 2 competitions. We've got Assetto Corsa competitions. We regularly give away cockpit steering wheels, sound systems, ignition control boxes, all that sort of stuff with some great sponsors. Come along, check it out, and get into some good racing, and then come back here for your Formula 1, because this is the place to be. Race Spec Esports. This is Disturbo. Avenger Ben signing off for 2019, and we'll catch you later on.